Well, we thought that you might now be interested in purchasing a drunk robot from us.
You would?
You wouldn't.
Well, I will. I definitely will.
I often will start a character kind of really with no sort of backstory or anything. Usually a character to me comes from like a really slight adjustment to my normal body, whether it's a voice change or like a physical movement. That way, you don't create a character that's so far removed from yourself that it's totally out there, but it's still something that's a little bit different. Like you could adjust your shoulder a bit or, move your voice up just a little bit.
You kind of build this repertoire, and it's great because then you have this portfolio to draw from all the time. And if you really like a character, maybe the scene didn't fit the character or characters that were in it, maybe the premise needs to be changed, or maybe you have to put it on the back burner temporarily. So you're gonna have lots of material that you generate all the time, and you're like, I don't know if I can ever use this, but I'll keep it in my back pocket and maybe pull it out sometime in the future.
One of the Second City resident stages or companies might do to create an actual show, which is just improvise for a few hours and just come up with material. So that's kind of the spitballing of ideas. It was just like improvising, just throwing things out there and seeing what might stick. Someone want to take one of those?
And then Anne said, all right, these 12 scenes had interesting ideas, as well as let's get new suggestions and then go and for 15 minutes pitch things. All right, let's grab this and this and make a scene with this premise of who, what, and where, and then re-improvise those. And then take those tapes or those memories, and start to write scenes. And we're still kind of in the middle of it. I mean, there's still a lot of work happening.
One thing I do before shows, a lot of people get like super energized up. Well, I see a lot of like younger improvisers do that too. Like before, like this is gonna be the best show ever, and then they go out. It's not very good. But I actually like to get like a more focused state right before a show. So kind of maybe like have some time to myself too. Whether it's improv or a sketch show that we've been working on, probably going over things in my head myself. And the energy comes from being prepared, and then when you're up there, the energy will come from that. But there's no need to create this false energy ahead of time to jump out there.
My theater teacher in high school always said, don't waste your energy. Because he would see, for speech and debate competitions in between rounds, people would be playing games and dancing, and he'd be like, no, don't do any of that. Just sit there. Don't save your energy for your performance and take 8 laxatives.
Right.
Oh, so that's
like unusual advice.
That's why I'm so slim. It's very slim.
That's a bad teacher.
Well, this morning we did this table read, and we put probably 3 times more sketches together and read them than we're going to end up using. One of the things we did was figure out what works and what doesn't work, and then we were able to figure out how the flow of the show goes together. Is it too much one actor, not enough of another actor? How does it work with the interstitial pieces? We needed to see a lot so we can narrow it down to what we end up using.
I think that contrary to popular belief, you don't actually have to have a table present. That's not the most important part.
I'm really glad
That's
you.
not.
If it's something that you didn't write or whatever, you can, and you're in it, you can find like beats or cadence to it, to find things that you bring to whatever is being presented to you from like Mark.
Monday we came in with nothing, but we did come in with a character that we were going to try out. I know for me it like changed while it was happening, so I was really not even sure what I was going to do.
Okay, well my character, Boom Boom, is just a bitch, okay? And that's just who she is, okay? So if you don't like it, you can just leave. There's nothing keeping you here. Boom Boom was a name that I made up on Monday or whenever that happened. Is just that girl that you see on those horrible reality shows. That one of those people that has to describe who they are. And usually all of the things that a person like that would name themselves as, that they usually are never that. Like they'll say something like, I'm just a good person, I'm just like really honest and kind. Like, who describes themselves? Like, that's something that someone else should be saying about you.
I came up with this character, Keith Honeycutt, who kind of a self-made man, kind of a entrepreneur, kind of coming up with his own business, trying to find love in all the wrong places, and and I kind of like, I came up with that. I don't know, the voice just kind of came to me, but I love characters that are like confident idiots or like self-important losers, because I actually really like, I honestly kind of feel for them in a way too, because I think there's something darker going on there with a lot of the characters that I really like, where they're kind of sad on the inside. I know like that, I know that person. I know that person is probably like a very lonely person, and this isn't very funny anymore, but it's I think that there's a lot of humor in that, and finding that in characters like that, where there's something more going on there, because there's more truth in that.
And Kid Tyler is based on a story an ex-girlfriend told me about a terrible roommate she had in Los Angeles who wore a lot of t-shirts and was a 22-year-old hipster who cared a lot about his hair. And then he's combined with like my fears about being a pretentious existentialist asshole and dropping names of authors that he likes and all these things, trying to avoid being a cliche that makes you the biggest cliche possible, which is a terror that I think a lot of people that are interested in art have. So, based in reality.
Quiet Andy just kind of happened. I don't know. It wasn't what I had prepared. Quiet Andy's just a quiet guy he's been kicked out of the Army. He'll piss in your bed, apparently, and he's crazy, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Hi, I'm Candy Wallace, and I'm Candy Wallace.
So like Candy does these things where she is doing news stories that would not like ever, I mean, sometimes they're insightful in some ways. Like there's a scandal that in the stuff that we filmed, we have like a storyline that's very linear, and it builds, and it talks about one scandal and how several different people are involved in it. She kind of has something to offer, but no one would ever take her seriously except for herself.